My beloved child, don't skip, stay till the end, because something huge is waiting, because your soulmate was only moments away from saying yes to a completely different future when their mother entered the room with tears in her eyes and a truth she had hidden for years. Outside, the wedding was ready. The guests were waiting. The music had begun. Everything looked perfect, yet your soulmate couldn't understand why their heart felt strangely unsettled. Then their mother locked the door behind her and whispered, "Before you walk out there, you need to know what really happened between you and the person you never completely forgot." Your soulmate froze. There was only one person she could possibly mean. You. Their mother finally confessed that years ago, when your connection was becoming stronger, you had tried to make your true feelings known, but she interfered. She allowed your soulmate to believe you had simply walked away. They didn't leave you the way you thought, she admitted. Suddenly, years of unanswered questions came rushing back. Don't skip, because that confession was only the beginning. Your soulmate stared at their mother as the entire story of the past began changing in their mind. Every silence that once felt like rejection suddenly had another explanation. Every memory of you suddenly carried a different meaning. Then came the question that changed everything: why are you telling me this on my wedding day? Their mother looked toward the ceremony doors and said, "Because I realized I was about to watch you choose forever while still believing something that wasn't true." Your soulmate couldn't speak. The person waiting outside represented the future everyone expected them to choose, but your name represented the question their heart had never answered. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Their mother then revealed something even more surprising: your name had surfaced again recently. This wasn't only about an old secret anymore. Something had happened that made her realize the story between you and your soulmate might not actually be finished. At that exact moment, someone knocked and announced that the ceremony was ready to begin. Your soulmate looked at one door leading toward the wedding and another leading away from it. Their hand moved toward the ceremony door, then stopped. Suddenly, something you had said years ago returned to their memory, and for the first time, those words made complete sense. They turned toward their mother and whispered, "So that was what they were trying to tell me?" Her expression gave them the answer. Your soulmate stepped away from the ceremony door and started walking toward the exit. Behind them were the flowers, the photographs, the guests, and the future everyone had prepared. Ahead was uncertainty, but also the truth about you. Don't skip. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. Just as your soulmate placed their hand on the final door, their mother called their name and said, "Wait. There is one more thing about them you still don't know." Your soulmate slowly turned around. And what their mother was about to reveal next would explain why your name had suddenly returned after all these years, and why this wedding was never going to end the way anyone expected. But the moment your soulmate turned around, their mother said something that erased every remaining doubt. "They tried to come back into your life more than once, and I knew." Your soulmate went completely silent. Suddenly, the wedding behind that door felt far away. Their mother admitted that she had seen signs that you still cared, but fear kept her silent. She thought time would eventually make your soulmate forget you. It never did. Instead, your soulmate had carried an unexplained emptiness for years, never knowing that the story they believed about you was incomplete. Don't skip, because the next truth changed everything. Their mother looked directly at them and whispered, "The person you thought forgot you may have been waiting for the truth to reach you this entire time." Something inside your soulmate shifted. They remembered the strange moments when your name appeared unexpectedly, the dreams they couldn't explain, and the memories that returned whenever they were about to make a major decision. Now those moments felt different. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. Your soulmate asked, "Why didn't you tell me sooner?" Their mother answered softly, "Because admitting the truth meant admitting that I may have separated two people who were supposed to make their own choice." Your soulmate looked toward the wedding hall one final time. Everyone was still waiting, unaware that the person they expected to walk toward the ceremony was standing only seconds away from walking toward an entirely different future. Then your soulmate opened the exit door. No dramatic announcement. No long explanation. Just one decision that nobody inside expected. They walked away from the wedding because they could no longer promise forever while one enormous question about you remained unanswered. But before they could take another step, their mother revealed the detail she had been saving until the very end. She said your soulmate's name had recently been mentioned alongside a message connected directly to you. Your soulmate stopped instantly. "What message?" they asked. Their mother hesitated, because those words contained something your soulmate had waited years to hear. "Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you," because when your soulmate finally discovers what that message says, they will understand why the truth appeared on this exact day, and why walking out of that wedding may have been only the beginning. What your soulmate heard next made them forget everything happening behind those wedding doors. Their mother finally revealed that the message connected to you wasn't random, and it wasn't something from years ago. It was recent. Your soulmate stared at her, almost afraid to ask what it said. Then she whispered, "They never wanted you to believe they stopped caring." Those words landed differently now. Your soulmate suddenly understood why certain memories had refused to disappear. Why moving forward had never completely felt like moving on. Don't skip, because the biggest revelation was still hidden inside that message. Their mother explained that you had never asked anyone to destroy their happiness. You had simply wanted the truth to exist between you, even if life had taken both of you in different directions. And that realization shook your soulmate more deeply than anything else that day. For years, your soulmate had believed your silence was the answer. Now they were discovering that silence had never told the full story. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. They stepped outside and looked back at the building where everyone was still expecting the ceremony to continue. Their entire future had been planned inside those walls, yet suddenly their heart was demanding something completely different: clarity. They didn't know whether finding you would change everything. They didn't even know what they would say if you stood in front of them again. But they knew they couldn't begin forever with someone else while carrying a question this enormous. Then their mother revealed one more detail. The recent message contained something only you and your soulmate would understand, a reference to one specific moment from your shared past that nobody else knew mattered. Your soulmate's eyes widened immediately. That memory had survived everything. Time. Distance. Silence. Every attempt to forget. And now it had somehow returned on their wedding day. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you, because your soulmate suddenly realized the message wasn't asking them to come running back. It contained something far more powerful, a truth they deserved to know before choosing the rest of their life. Their mother reached into her bag and said, "There is something else you need to see." Your soulmate stopped breathing for a second as she pulled out something she had kept hidden. It carried a date that made your soulmate's face change instantly. Because once they saw when it had actually been sent, they understood that the secret had continued much longer than they ever imagined. And what they were about to read would finally reveal what you had been trying to tell them all along. The date was the first thing your soulmate noticed, and instantly, everything became heavier. The message had been sent long before this wedding was planned, at a time when your soulmate still secretly wondered whether you remembered them. Their mother handed it over with trembling hands. Your soulmate read the first few words and stopped. You hadn't written to pull them away from anyone. You hadn't demanded another chance. Instead, you had written something far more powerful. You wanted them to know that what happened between you had never been meaningless. Don't skip, because one sentence buried deeper in that message was about to change the entire meaning of your separation. You explained that there had been things you wanted to say years ago, but circumstances kept the full truth from reaching them. Your soulmate read those words again and again. Then they looked at their mother and asked, "How long did you know about this?" Her silence answered first. And suddenly your soulmate realized this wasn't one hidden truth. It was years of missing pieces finally coming together on the one day when they could no longer be ignored. Then something completely unexpected happened. Your soulmate reached the final lines of the message and found a reference to that private memory only the two of you truly understood. It proved this wasn't nostalgia. You remembered the tiny detail your soulmate thought everyone had forgotten, the moment when neither of you needed to explain what you felt because one look had said enough. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Their eyes filled with emotion as another realization arrived. While they had spent years believing they were easy for you to forget, you had carried that same memory forward. Their mother whispered, "Now you understand why I couldn't let you walk into that ceremony without knowing." Your soulmate folded the message carefully and looked toward the road ahead. They weren't running toward a fantasy. They were finally walking toward an answer. Because sometimes the most important decision isn't choosing the easiest future. It's refusing to build that future on an unfinished truth. But just when your soulmate thought they finally understood everything, they noticed something at the bottom of the message that their mother hadn't mentioned. A short line. A place. And beside it, a date connected to something happening very soon. Don't skip. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. Your soulmate looked up immediately and asked, "Did you know about this too?" Their mother's expression changed. She slowly nodded and said, "That's why I had to tell you today." Suddenly, walking out of the wedding wasn't the biggest twist anymore. Your soulmate now had a choice nobody had prepared them for: return inside and continue the life everyone expected, or follow the first real clue that could finally lead them to the truth about you. They looked at the message one final time, took a deep breath, and started moving. But what they didn't know was that someone connected to you was already waiting at that place, with one final revelation that could change everything your soulmate believed about why you disappeared. The moment your soulmate reached that place, they realized this was bigger than a message. Someone was already there, holding something connected directly to you. Your soulmate stopped when they heard, "You finally know the truth, don't you?" Their heart raced. Don't skip, because the answer that followed changed everything they believed about the years you spent apart. They were told that you had never wanted to become an interruption in their life. Even after everything went silent, you respected the path you believed they had chosen. But there was one thing you never stopped hoping for: that someday they would learn what actually happened and understand that your silence was never proof that they meant nothing. Your soulmate lowered their eyes as years of confusion suddenly became painfully clear. They had spent so long trying to forget someone who, in their heart, had never completely disappeared. Then came the detail nobody expected. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. The person standing there revealed that you had once prepared something for your soulmate but never knew whether the right moment would come to give it to them. It wasn't expensive. It wasn't extravagant. Its value came from what it represented, a memory from the exact period when your connection had been strongest. Your soulmate held it carefully, recognizing a detail immediately. Suddenly, they remembered a conversation with you that they hadn't thought about in years. Back then, your words seemed ordinary. Now they sounded almost like a promise hidden inside a memory. Your soulmate whispered, "They remembered this?" The answer came instantly, "They remembered more than you ever knew." And in that second, the wedding they had just left felt like part of another lifetime. But the greatest surprise hadn't arrived yet. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. Your soulmate was told that there was a reason everything had surfaced now, on this exact day. Someone had recently discovered that your soulmate was about to get married, and the truth could no longer remain buried. Not because anyone wanted to control their decision, but because they deserved to make that decision knowing the complete story. Your soulmate looked down at what they were holding, then asked the only question that mattered anymore: where are they now? A long silence followed. Then came an answer your soulmate never expected. You were closer than they thought. Much closer. And before your soulmate could ask another question, they heard something behind them. They slowly turned around, and the person approaching carried one final piece of the story that could reveal whether this journey was leading them toward you, or toward a truth even bigger than finding you again. The footsteps behind your soulmate suddenly stopped, and for one impossible second, they were afraid to turn around. Their entire wedding day had transformed into a journey through truths they should have known years ago. Then a familiar voice said their name. Not yours, but someone who knew exactly what had happened between you. Don't skip, because what this person carried was the missing piece nobody else had seen. They handed your soulmate a small envelope and said, "This was meant to reach you only if the truth ever came out." Your soulmate opened it slowly. Inside were words written long before anyone knew this wedding would happen. The message didn't ask them to return to you. It simply said that if they ever learned the full story, they should never blame themselves for believing what they had been told. And then came the line that made your soulmate completely still: "If our paths ever cross again, I only want it to happen because you chose the truth freely. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, because your soulmate finally understood that you hadn't been waiting to control their future. You had been protecting their freedom to choose it." That realization changed everything. Your soulmate looked back at every moment they had misunderstood, the distance, the unanswered questions, the strange feeling that your story had ended without a real ending. Now they knew why. But there was still one question nobody had answered: where were you? Your soulmate looked at the person standing before them and asked again, "Please. Tell me where they are." This time, there was no hesitation. They were given a location nearby and told something even more surprising: you had no idea your soulmate had walked out of the wedding. You weren't expecting them. You weren't waiting for some dramatic reunion. As far as you knew, their life had already moved forward. Don't skip. That detail matters, because now every step your soulmate took would truly be their own choice. They looked down at their wedding clothes, then at the message in their hands, and started walking. Not because they knew what would happen next, but because after years of missing truth, they finally needed one honest conversation. Then, just before your soulmate reached the place where you were supposed to be, their phone lit up. One new message. Their mother. Only a few words appeared on the screen. There is one final truth I forgot to tell you. Your soulmate stopped immediately. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. They opened the message, and their expression changed. Their mother revealed that the original secret hadn't begun because she disliked you. There had been another reason, something your soulmate had never known about the circumstances surrounding your separation. And once they understood it, they might see both you and their mother differently. Your soulmate slowly lifted their eyes. Just ahead was the place where you could be waiting without even knowing they were coming. Behind them was the truth that had already changed their entire future. And now, between those two worlds, one final revelation was about to explain why you disappeared when your soulmate needed answers most. My beloved child, the final truth arrived before your soulmate could take another step. Their mother admitted that years ago, she had misunderstood one crucial situation involving you. She believed distance would protect her child from disappointment, so she encouraged silence instead of honesty. But much later, she discovered something she never expected. You had stepped away because you believed your soulmate had already chosen a different future. You weren't trying to forget them. You thought respecting their happiness meant disappearing quietly. Don't skip, because suddenly both sides of the story became clear. Your soulmate had believed you left because you stopped caring, while you had believed they moved forward because they no longer wanted you there. Years had passed between two people carrying completely different versions of the same goodbye. And now, on the day your soulmate walked out of their own wedding, that misunderstanding had finally collapsed. Your soulmate continued forward, but every step felt different now. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. They weren't searching for a perfect ending anymore. They were searching for the conversation that should have happened years ago. Then they reached the place mentioned in the message. Through the distance, they saw someone standing with their back turned. Your soulmate froze. Something about that silhouette felt instantly familiar. The posture. The stillness. The strange feeling of recognition before seeing a face. Their heart began racing as years of memories returned at once. They took one step closer. Then another. The person slowly started turning around. Your soulmate almost whispered your name, but stopped, because at that exact second,